every role play game out there, I can't think of a one, I should say, that does not use a character sheet or a persona sheet. The idea here of the persona packet is that you're going to end up with a multi-page document that covers all the things you would need to have in the game in an easy to search format. You start off with four basic elements of the character sheet. As you notice in this case, in the bold print, you have base, race, place, and estate. And each of these represents a different element or segment of the character's creation, so that once you have this sheet filled out, then you have all you need to start playing the game. Literally, you could literally start with just this and nothing else. Base is the framework. It's like a skeleton. You're going to create these 7 attributes, and from these attributes, you'll be able to see what the character looks like, get an idea of how they act, how fast they are, all of the basic information you would need to know about the persona. Under the term race, I did again. If you notice, there's the alliteration of base, race, place, estates built in. But in addition to that, the races are your species, and so there's a wide variety. As a matter of fact, in the Nikos RPG Dark Shards, there are 35 different species. So there's very little to restrict what kind of a persona you want to play in terms of what species you want to come from. The element of place is the culture from which you come, so that gives you an idea of where you were brought up, what kind of things are important to you, and then values are literally that, what you desire and what you have chosen to play. Now, beyond this, I'm going to do an entire video. There will be an entire video on the persona packet, but just realize that this mechanism we're using is percentile based or percentage based, which means you're rolling percentile dice, either a D100 or 2D10s. But that makes it simple because everybody already thinks in terms of percentages. We listen to weather reports that say it's a 60% chance of rain, and so we know to possibly throw an umbrella in the car. So a system that is percentage based makes it fast to play also, because you can just simply understand that rolling the percentage dice and rolling the value or less means we have succeeded at it. This also leads to the mechanism in the game that is called intentional self-advancement. The game master no longer has to provide you with the experience points or the permission to advance your character. You merely do so every session incrementally. And by having an incremental advancement, players literally guide the course of their existence into the areas of life they wish to pursue, ignoring those things they don't want to be involved with, and also building towards the ones that they do in a intentional way. Because the system is culture and values defined and derived, the players have the control over where the story goes, because they are the ones who decide what's important for them, what's important to this persona, and therefore make choices as far as their actions conducive to the improvement of those skills they picked up from their culture and their values. Now, most role-play games are defined as either sandbox role-play games or railroad role-play games, and it's not necessarily by the rules that are being used, but rather by the game master's style. And so this system is set up on what I call shifting sand. I mentioned it earlier, but shifting sand structure means that as a storyteller and a game master, I have a story to tell, and that story is based on a passage of time. And whether the players get involved with that story or not, those things that are planned out and predicted will happen in the story. But the players can choose which of the elements of that story they want to pursue. And I simply shift the sandbox, so to speak, by letting them know what's going on in the rest of the world on an ongoing basis. This is not a process most game masters use. As a matter of fact, most game masters wouldn't even think about what I'm saying here, because this is 50 years of experience talking. The idea that the players want to pursue their own course, absolutely. But if there's something going on in the world that I think they should be made aware of, they'll get news reports. They'll get information from outside sources that provide them that information, and then that will possibly leverage them to change their course, or perhaps align with what's going on in the story. But this mechanism is fundamentally built to accommodate high and very high levels of fantasy, which means your levels of what you can do in terms of your magics, what you can do with in terms of military conflict. These are all things that are ratcheted up to 11, because the very mechanism is self-regulating, because all of the advancements they can make still only leave them with a certain numeric value against which they have to roll, and there's still going to be those moments of clarity where the dice roll fails and they simply have to deal with the results of the game session in play. And because of that, it doesn't matter whether you are letting the players run rampant with their imaginations and such. As a matter of fact, in the world of Nikos, the entire magic system is fundamentally what the players define for themselves, utilizing the basis for what causes magic to work. Now, there's a lot more detail, of course, that goes into the persona sheet. There's going to be a video for that here. I'm putting in the right area, I think, or there. But that will provide you information on how to build your character. And for more information, of course, you can get your copy of the sheet from the link down below that'll take you to that source. So, as a recap, I want to thank you for being here for our video today. If you want to have a copy of the Master Play rules and get a chance to look them over, those are available through the link below, as is the persona sheet and the community identity sheet, which is also down below. And we're going to be linking this video to that one as well. So I want to thank you again for being here. If you like what you saw, make sure you like this video and follow us to get more content as we develop it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, the subscription gets you no commercials. You actually get to avoid the commercials by joining us with the subscription button. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, because it's a great way to get our channel up and stable. And we want to make this a daily event and keep it a daily event for as long as we can. Alrighty, I'm Jonathan Alvin. This is Nikos RPG, and I will see you next time.